Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn, the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. Okay, the name of this one, will be something along the lines of the title of this article, man. Billy Gates of hell, seeding MPX in major cities via the trails. Okay, I'll just name it like that, but you can see it here. The name of the title of the whole article. All right, so we're gonna go into that, read a few paragraphs on that, get a few scriptures, because these devils know that they have but a short time, so they have to do everything in their disposal, and the resources they have to forge not only eventually forging their so-called birthright that Esau sold, but they have to control the masses, man. And the only reason they don't flat out just come out and say it is because there's a lot of resistance, like these alternative sites really gives them a run for their money, because it's not that everybody is like in the dark about these globalists, but a good 40%, maybe 50% of Babylon, where we are right now, is definitely napping, right, or in the dark about the understanding of what these devils is really up to, and though you got the prophets out there, teaching, in reality, they're only going to wake up the elect, because even among our own people, the unelected, they're not going to take heed. So even seeing an article and reading something like this, Shalakia, wouldn't really faze them that much, because you got Jake. You got Jakes as well as all the other nations that are in this country, not really worrying about what organizations like the WHO and the WEF have planned, along with all these other nations that are down with them, right? So, hey, at the end of the day, this is not for everybody. The elect is going to take heed, and the Lord is going to put the spirit on these Edomites, to speak things and say things, and eventually, their tongue falling upon themselves, man. Then they basically just telling on themselves, because that's just the way the Lord has it happen. Okay, so let's just get into it real quick, and then I get some scriptures. Let me see something. Right, let me actually get this scripture real quick. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." So eventually this is what we're doing, because it's a commandment from the Lord, and we're speaking unto the house of Israel, whether it be the 1/3 or the 2/3, right? But we're speaking because the elect is going to hear this and take heed, as I was saying, and everybody else is just going to be in limbo. The 2/3 of our people are choosing to be wicked, to stay in their ways, because Jake just don't want to be in order. Jake don't care about what's going on. They just care about themselves, about what makes them happy. But the warning is going out through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because it's the way that he's gonna make it known that your 2/3 are not gonna have a cloak for their sins, man. You know, and for, you know, being the way, for not repenting. You know, they're not going to be able to say, you know, when the Lord's coming back, when the Lord's here, that they didn't know about it, that they didn't hear about this. You know, the scriptures clearly tell you that this is going to go on to the four corners of the earth, preach to all nations, and then the end shall come. Okay, so there's not anyone that the Lord doesn't want this to be, or any place that the Lord does not want this to be heard, man. Okay, it's going to be heard and echoed through all the corners of the earth, man. All right. But he made us watchmen, so we have to do these things. We have to follow the Lord's order and warn our people, sound the alarm. You got a lot of camps that are not doing that, man, and the scriptures call them dumb dogs. You know, because what good is a dog, having a guard dog, if he's not going to warn you by barking at whatever threat is going on? Yeah, I mean, it's a useless animal at that point. You know, you have it there for nothing, no purpose to it, man. All right. So to go into the article, okay, it says a disturbing revelation has emerged from within the Billy Gates and Melinda Gates of Hell Foundation, as a whistleblower comes forward to expose a plan to use the existing air trails, okay, operation to unleash the next demic. Okay, I just say demic because you gotta be wise when reading any of these things online, man. You know. So it says a senior scientist has bravely broken her silence to reveal a covert operation known as Project Skypox. All right, which is not covert anymore. It says which involves spraying a highly contagious variety of aerosolized MPX over unsuspecting civilian population with a view of causing a new demic and rolling out a punishing regime of vaccines and restrictions. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what these devils are attempting to do, man. You know, let me see. Boom, boom, boom. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. And that's right. We're not ignorant to what this man is up to, because we know him. The Lord tells you the things from the beginning, the ending from the beginning. Okay? And he reveals his secrets to his men, the prophets, you know, and knowing those things and knowing the attributes of Esau and how he does, how he's, you know, because all you got to do, besides getting understanding of who this man is through the scriptures, I mean, you run the background check on the white man, and these are the things that he commits, the same things that the scriptures accuses him of, you know, that son of perdition, man. It accuses him of those things, and that's exactly how he is right now. So you can't take what he's trying to do lightly, okay, or by a grain of salt. You know, he's going to the Lord is giving this man the thoughts, technology, and opportunity to do certain things on earth, man, that's going to usher in the prophecies, man, the MO to the TB, man, Jacob's trouble, you know, and eventually the second coming of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, you know, to redeem his people. So back in the article, it says causing a new demic and rolling out a punishing regime of vaccines and restrictions. So we know, because we've been saying this, starting with the apostles, even before this or any other article came out, you know, that this was the devil's plan all along. impose his draconian laws, right, to his unrighteous decrees to better control the masses. All right, it says claiming that staff at the Gates Foundation are divided over the majority of this operation. The senior scientist warns that Billy Gates of Hell is laser focused on the plan and determined to push ahead with it, whether his staff agree with him or not. Okay, so he's hell bent on doing that, because the thing about that, the MPX, and I think this article mentions it it is contagious and all, but it takes a lot for you really to get someone, expose someone to that virus. It's just not as easy as any other type of virus. So it's a slow thing. It'll be a slow progression of contamination and contagion, but he's trying to hit the turbo button on it to make it happen faster, man. Because like I said earlier, these devils know that they have but a short time. So the horns is coming out. They're showing their true colors, but not fully, because somebody had to blow his spot on his plan. But sooner, in the very near future, they're gonna flat out tell you, as they are already. It's just gonna get a little more direct. When they start implementing and forcing these laws that they're going to be passing in Babylon and abroad, man, because you have a bunch of nations that are down with the instructions that the WEF are down. First and foremost, with the WEF, they're all members, but they're definitely down with any instructions that they'll give them. This thing has been planned forever, man. It says the globalist elite have done their best to unleash hell on earth in the last 4 years, but we, the people, have held strong, maintained our dignity, and exposed their lies one by one. And in reality, the ones that are really doing that are the prophets, okay? Because they're telling the men of the Lord, because the men of the Lord are telling you exactly what's going to happen. These well-wishing, so-called dignified people that are exposing them don't know the truth, don't know the end result, of how this is all going to end. Okay, they could just tell you what they're trying to go against, what they're being resistant against, but they can't tell you exactly what's gonna what the outcome is gonna be. The men of the Lord do know. The scriptures tell you that what the latter end of this is going to be. Esau's going to get to accomplish his device, right? His new world order, if you may. But he's not going to savor it. He's not going to enjoy it, because the Lord is not going to let these devils to reach another level of governance, mutated, evolved governance on this planet, man. All right, because the next government is the Lord's government, man. Okay, it's gonna be Yahweh, the head of all, Yahweh Shai, King David, and the 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe. That's going to be the governing office of everything that's everything, man. Not only this planet, but of everything, man. Okay. It says the elite understand their agenda is in grave risk of failing, and they are growing increasingly desperate to find new ways to enslave humanity, right? Because this is exactly what they want to do. The scriptures tell you that, and in Revelation, Ezekiel, that this is what this man wants to do, and why the Lord has to make a speedy ending to him, man. Because if it was up to this devil, he will kill everybody, every fucking body. He'll be left by himself if he had the opportunity, man. Okay? The elites understand their agenda is in grave risk of failing, and they are growing increasingly desperate, you know? So they're going to all their resources, man, and making weapons out of things that weren't even put together for or created for a weapon. But you know, the scriptures tell you that's what he was blessed with the sword, man, with the sword. So he turns anything and everything to a weapon, from knowledge, you know, history, food, goddamn air, as this article is going into, you know, everything, man. This man is a cancer on earth, man, and he's just affecting everything. It says early this week, the WEF young global leader Justin Trudeau warned Canadians to expect a new virus worse than the C19er that will somehow cut off their access to food supply, banking services, and gasoline. Telling you that, you know, letting you know that these people been planned this. Because, you know, as far as I remember, these the government never really warned you like that. They will say, oh, you know, we're in flu season, because based on stats and reality, everybody tends to get sick around fall, you know, and early winter, you know, and we all know why, you know, with children going to school and you know, slapping each other fives and borrowing each other's crayons and pencils and things like that, and they got the sniffles and they sneeze and cough right in front of each other, and it just spreads, you know. But we all knew about little seasonal sicknesses and things of that nature, man. But these people are over here predicting, you know, whole pandemics, man, you know. And that's something I'd never seen before, you know, until now, where you know, when soon as Trump got in office, or while he was in office till now. Anything before that, they didn't really put it like that, you know. They mentioned it here and there. I have heard it mentioned, but they're flat out telling you, and you could hear it in their voice, right? Or even when you're reading this article, like, they mean it, because they know it's gonna happen, because they're the one orchestrating it. Okay. So what's his name? Justin Trudeau, right, the president or prime minister of Canada, is warning Canadians about these things that are gonna happen. And one of the key things is banking, all right, and food and gasoline, because with gasoline you get around, with food it keeps you sustained, and you have the energy, you know, to walk and do what you got to do or whatever. But you know, once they mess with the people's money, pretty much, you know, you got the people by the balls, man. You know, because people are gonna want their money. People are gonna want to provide for their family. You know, pay their bills, to keep the shelter that they're in, the homes that they're in, whether they own it or renting, right? So it's all leading to a new way of you know, controlling financing, man. And we know that they're going to use it to catapult the implementation of the what we know as the MO to the TB, man. Okay, which is those RFID microchips, You know, that technology already exists. The MO to the TB is already here, and there's a bunch of people that are willingly getting it. But it's going to get to a point where you'll have no option but to take that. Okay? And I don't want to go off the topic too much, but we all know how in Revelation it tells you after you do take it, you know how you know you're going to be sorry, man, basically, man. You know? You're going to be sorry for that, man, because you're ultimately, as a Jake, what you're telling the Lord is that you don't need him, that you need Esau. Because Esau feeds you. Esau shelters you, you know? And many of our people look at Esau as their God, man. Point blank. It says, it feels like a meticulously crafted scheme to lock the prison door on humanity and toss away the key forever. Okay. Meanwhile, the WEF infiltrated governments in the UK is busy cracking down on any form of dissent from the globalist agenda. This week, arresting people for crimes such as sharing anti-establishment rhetoric on social media. That's another thing. You can't even speak on these things and connect dots, man. You know, it's frowned upon by them, and you could get locked up. You could lose your money. You know what I mean? And you could even, you know, they're talking about extraditing people from one country to another, from Babylon to Great Britain, or to the Brits out there, man. You know, for speaking on what's going on with them out there. You know, these things are already, you know, on the books. They're just not implemented, man. You know, and the thing is, you know, it takes a while for these people to come up with certain laws, man. You know, so they could say it's for one reason. Years ago, they will say it's for one reason, but they'll use it as a blanking to cover everything else, anything else that they don't consider, or they consider fake news, for lack of another word, right? It says, while in New Zealand and the WEF infiltrated government has updated their endemic plan to grant police the power to detain and restrain members of public for forced vaccinations among a raft of new authoritarian measures, man. Okay? And it's crazy because they know that they need these laws in place and implemented, and so they could better control not only the masses but their agenda. Okay, let's get a few scriptures real quick. Let's get the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine." And what's his wine? His philosophies, right? Ain't nothing but his pure philosophy coming out through the WEF, man. All these plans that they have for people, it's that's their wine, and people, especially these nations, they're drinking it up, man, and they're all drunk off of it, man. It says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, which is why he's implementing and you know, like, for example, Carl Schwab, whatever his name is, the head of the WEF, he has Babylon, the NATO, you know, all these different nations in the palm of his hand, man. You know, they're all members of that organization, man. So, you know, and especially even if they're not Edomites, that's these other nations drinking of that wine. You know, being a member of this guy, actually giving him the chance to see what he's about. is you sipping on that wine, man. It's these nations sipping on that wine. So it says, neither keep it at home who enlarges his desire as hell. Because, once these draconian laws are implemented, man, it's going to be a whole nother level of hell and on earth, man. Hell being a condition. All right. Depending on the context of what you're reading, hell is either the condition or the grave, man. When you're put into the grave. Okay. Despite what these, different camps are teaching about, the hell doctrine, man. You're not going to go to a place to burn for eternity, man. It's just not biblical, man. And on top of that, the Lord is delights in balance, man. That's an unrighteous balance, man. To have people, just suffering over and over and over again forever. Like, what the fuck is even the point of that, man? To suffer for eternity. There's even an origin to that doctrine, and it's not from biblical times. It's in the last couple hundred years, a few hundred years, since the Roman Catholic Church started pushing that rhetoric, man. That false doctrine, which is probably more than a few hundred years, but you get it. It's not something that the people written about on the book were discussing or even promoting by any means. Okay, so it says he desires who enlargeth his desire as hell, man. It says and is as death. Because you got a lot of people that took these vaccines a few years ago, and they're still to this day dropping like flies. And it's like a time bomb, because some people, died within the first few hours to few days, few months, especially after some time afterwards, because it was like a whole ticking time bomb, and it was also loaded up with other stuff. That vaccine was actually a payload, where it's just not one particular item, on a payload, but it's different things. And that's exactly what the vaccines were, man. These Pfizers and these Johnson & Johnson and all these jump shots that they made you get afterwards. It was all a setup, man. Okay? And to this day, you have people that are supposed to be healthy, even in their prime, dropping like flies, man. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations. This is talking about a nation of people, right? Especially these Babylonians here that have over 900 bases around the whole earth, man. Around the whole earth, man. Which is why it says he gathered unto himself all nations, man. Through his wine, through his military, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay? So this devil has already been found out, man. Because what the 2 Corinthians 2:11 said, man, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So it's telling you right there that it's not possible for Satan to get an advantage of the elect. Because whoever he does get advantage of, that person actually is a part of the non-elect, man, the 2/3. Okay, that just plainly, the elect cannot be deceived, man. Why would the elect be deceived? When the Lord already chose them from the foundation of the earth, man. It just don't make no sense. So I will behoove you, brothers and sisters, to finish reading that article. But I did want to get another paragraph. Let me see. Showing you what that was about. It says, according to WHO chief Dr. Tedros, who receives the vast bulk of his paycheck from Billy Gates Foundation. Sovereign nations to coordinate a global response to what he describes as the MPX international health emergency. Okay, only one person caught it outside of I forget where exactly it was, what nation in so-called Africa. I forget what nation but anyways, where the MPX comes from. But outside of that continent of Africa, it only affected one other person outside of it, and these people are all ready to start locking everything down, which is going to get to that. Salakia Aki, man, I didn't get much sleep and I was up early to go to work. I'm on my break right now, so Salakia for the yawning. It says following a minor outbreak in isolated parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So one minor outbreak, which I think it was either in Switzerland or Finland or around there, because of that one person, they're ready to shut this whole shit down. Just like when the C-19er was out, and out of 300 million people, a few dozen had it, and they locked everything down. And to this day, people are still trying to recover, or the nation's trying to recover for it. But I mean, it's a done deal, you know. We've reached a level in the debt clock that cannot be paid off, man. You know, pretty much over for the dollar, man. Okay, let me see. It says, according to the whistleblower, MPX just isn't contagious enough, and the elite are desperately seeking new ways to infect the global population so they can roll out the next phase of their tolerated, I forget how to say that word. I'm not even gonna say it again. Master that, you know, their power over the people. Totalitarian. There we go. Master plan to enslave humanity, man. The Gates Foundation whistleblower revealed the organization is working with globalist institutions, including the United Nations. See, there you go. And in the United Nations, we don't got nobody representing the Israelites, let alone you so-called blacks and Latinos, which are the Israelites. You don't got no say in the UN. Working with the globalist institutions, including the United Nations and World Economic Forum, the WEF, to expedite an mRNA vaccine rollout in the same manner as the COVID, the Crown 19 demic. So you see, they're trying to push this. They're trying to push this so they could implement those lockdowns and be even much harder on the people than they were back then. Okay. I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna put the description on the description. I'll put the link to this article. Okay. I'll suggest you brothers and sisters go into it and read it, because it's really it's really going down, man. You know, when I first came upon it, I was like, yeah, man, that's crazy. It's bad enough that they spraying, you know, different type of aluminums and metals in those planes, but now he wants to put this shit on it and basically raise up the numbers of infected so they could have enough justification, even if it was falsely done, enough justification to implement their draconian laws, man. This is gonna lock this down even more. It says because, you know, at one point in the article it mentions that slogan that you know, Biden was harping to a lot, which was build back better, right? Because they want to, you know, because even the phrase itself, build back better, in other words, rebuild, right? Or rebuild something new. But the Lord is not going to allow that, man, at all. And it tells you in Malachi 1:4. Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return to build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh. And you got this same mindset with a lot of these Edomites that are pushing to vote for Trumpito. You know, they want to make this their stolen country better again. Okay, and after they get all these major players to control our positions out the way and make examples out of them, they're going to get at you so-called blacks and Latinos. You're going to be the next people that they blame for what's going on all around the earth. Just like you had one of those 1948ers saying that Israel's biggest problem is not Iran or any of these places that bombing the fuck out of them or want to obliterate them, but they're saying that we're the biggest threats, so-called blacks and Latinos, because we're teaching that who we really are, and that they forged, or not forged, they stole our identity. You feel me? So we're their biggest enemy, and that's going to soon manifest and be known to everybody, man. That hey, it's evident that they're attacking us. Because they're going to come down, you know what I'm saying? Like a flood, as the scripture said, being a madman, you know? So it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever, which goes into indignation going into righteous, man, I forget right now. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Righteous anger, basically. You know, the Lord has a righteous anger for these people, man, and can't wait to delete them. I mean, he could wait, you know, just saying that's like a saying, but hey, it says it tells you that Yahweh Shai, vengeance is in Yahweh Shai's mind, man. The Lord can't wait to come back and repay these demons for what they did to them. He even threatened the dude that pierced him on his side because he's going to even see it, you know, well, which will behoove you to, you know, go into or think about or consider the fact that there's reincarnation on earth, because you can't tell me that there's somebody over 900 years old right now that's still alive, and he's going to witness the Lord coming back, because he himself was the one who pierced the Lord on his side, man. Okay? So it says, the border of wickedness and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever, because the Lord is going to destroy everything that they say that they're building, even their device, their new world order. The Lord is just not going to allow them to taste of it, man. The only thing they're going to taste is the double shot of straight hell that the Lord is going to put on them through the spirit of Yahweh, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? But through his men, through his people, because you know they're going to be our slaves in the future, man. Billy Gates of hell is going to be passed around all over the place, man, because everybody's going to want a piece of him, man, to basically enslave them also, man. So I pray that in the kingdom, whoever has them, I could have them for a day or two, and you know, bring them back after I kill them a few dozen times, and bring them back to life. Because these devils got to go, man. We you know, we laugh to keep from crying, man, to keep from weeping, because we already cry out there in the corners and the highways and byways, man. But you know, you can't trust these devils, man. You can never trust thine enemy, man. I'll leave you with this last one. Job 3:13-4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. You can't stop and think for 1 second that, first of all, they have any type of interest, or your interest at heart, and Secondly, that whatever they do come out, whatever so-called vaccines they pop out with, it's not going to be a good thing, for us. It's not, you know. So hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying to the elect. And in closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. To you I say Shalom and Ababa Bo and Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom.